My name is Peter Tatham, President of ABC Friends Tasmania. Democracy is under threat all around the world. Ita Buttrose, Chair of ABC, recently spoke about the importance of the ABC to Australia's democracy. She was speaking at an event celebrating the publication of Australia's first independent newspaper, published in 1824 in Hobart by Andrew Bent. This video highlights some of what Ita had to say. And if you're interested in supporting our national broadcaster, you may like to consider joining ABC Friends. Details are available at abcfriends.org.au.
An ABC that is free from commercial and political influence, that is publicly funded, well-resourced and consistently protected by its charter is essential to Australian democracy as it has been for the past almost 90 years. It is a great democratic task of journalism to uncover dark deeds, murky secrets and cover-ups, to question the spin and lies and misinformation, to insist upon facts and truth. And as Ben Bradley, the great newspaper editor of the Washington Post, said, as long as a journalist tells the truth in conscience and fairness, it is not his job to worry about the consequences. The truth is never as dangerous as a lie in the long run. I truly believe the truth sets men free. Standing up for the ABC means standing up for press freedom in defence of a strong and functioning Australian democracy, and that mission is as important and urgent as ever. Trust is carefully won and maintained through transparency, consistency and integrity. It should be no surprise to us that the ABC is Australia's most trusted media institution and one of our most trusted national enterprises. A recent international survey by the UK research firm Populus found that the ABC leads the world in positive audience perception, with 84% of Australians saying that the ABC is important to the nation. No media company in any other nation was rated more highly by their citizens. Thank you. The ABC has always operated alongside commercial broadcasters. Commercial radio stations were well in place before the ABC was created. The ABC was expected to both compete with and complement those commercial services. Today, Australia has one of the highest levels of commercial media concentration in the world, headed by the Nine Group and News Corporation. I spent my career, most of my life, in fact, in the media. I began my journalism cadetship when I was 16. Like many other journalists and editors, I've held sacred the importance of freedom of the press and the rights of journalists everywhere to serve the public interest, hold the powerful to account, and ensure as best we can that our democratic rights are protected and never taken for granted. I know from my experience in commercial media that much good work is done there, including breaking news stories and exposing corrupt behaviour. But in commercial media, the choice of news that is covered and the views that are expressed about it will inevitably lean towards the attitudes of the editors or proprietors, who themselves must respond to the perceived preferences of their audiences and advertisers. The impact of the current concentration of commercial media in Australia has been magnified by the pandemic, the COVID pandemic. Media outlets and newsrooms have closed, contracted or merged nationally since the start of 2019. Many of these are in rural and regional communities and have served their audiences for generations. And increasingly, sections of Australia have become news deserts, especially at local level. In fact, this is a retrograde attempt to put a fence about what constitutes real news. And it is a reminder that we need diversity in the media at all levels so that judgments about what constitutes news can properly reflect our whole society in all its diversity, not just the view from some privileged part of it. By the way, women happen to think misogyny and sexual abuse of women are mainstream news. Now more than ever, those Australians who are friends of the ABC need to stand up and support the national broadcaster as an essential democratic force in Australian life across 3 priority areas. The first is to insist that to do its job, the ABC must be properly and securely funded. Today, the ABC's critics, both commercial and ideological, are emboldened in attacking the ABC and calling it to be defunded or sold off altogether. This threat is not confined to Australia. Public broadcasters around the world face similar calls, and we must resist these pressures if we are to remain capable of serving Australians with news, entertainment, information and education, and to reflect the breadth of our nation. Specifically, we have called for certainty about our enhanced news gathering funding. We also believe there is a strong case for an increase in our emergency broadcasting funding. The second priority must be the reform of the complex and increasingly hostile legal environment for the free press. Press freedom is generally fragile in Australia. Our Constitution contains no press freedom guarantees, and it recognises no more than an implied freedom of political communication. So today I invite you to join and support the ABC's call on policymakers to include protection for media and investigative journalism in any drafting of any national security legislation. The third and final priority is a call for ABC Friends to promote greater understanding of the role the ABC plays in uniting Australians and bringing us together. In all our programming, we seek to take people out of isolation in the community, out of ignorance into facts, out of ideological bubbles and into the mainstream of Australian life. We provide a forum for the many different voices of Australia, across Australia. And in doing so, the ABC promotes an Australia that is peaceful, cohesive, and most of all, democratic. Journalists are not the enemy of the people. They scrutinise and search. They ask questions that can make politicians and powerful people uncomfortable. They confront them with unpleasant truths to which they must provide an answer. They give all of us an opportunity to become more informed citizens. The ABC is Australia's most trusted national institution. We have built this trust over many generations. We have a long and stable relationship with our audience, and we have built that relationship since we began back in 1932. I think the ABC is brand Australia. We value the trust that Australians place in us. We value the responsibility that comes with being Australia's public broadcaster, and we value our independence as Australia's public broadcaster. As the public broadcaster responsible to and a platform for the people of Australia, the ABC is one of the linchpins of our democratic society. It exists to provide checks and balances and to hold those in power to account, and as such, it is the voice and therefore the embodiment of Australian democracy. It could be argued, and rightly so I think, that standing up for the ABC means standing up for Australia. You are all part of the proud history of doing exactly that. And right now, we need your support more than ever. Thank you very much.
In summary, Ita's speech highlights a number of themes. The ABC is Australia's most trusted institution, and we rely on it for the right information to make informed decisions. The ABC needs adequate funding to do its job well, and we need to be able to protect the journalists so that they can reveal the most important stories of the day.